Good morning everyone. I am Dr. Harmesh Kumar, Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, University Institute of Engineering and Technology, Punjab University, Chandigarh. So my dear friends, today we will discuss battery. We know all what is battery. This is the part, this is the subject of our subject in mechanical engineering, that is automobile engineering. So in automobile engineering, we will study what is battery. So dear friend, before starting the topic battery, we all know what is battery, where it is applied, what are the different functions of the battery, how it work. So battery is installed in a vehicle, all two-wheelers or four-wheelers, either car, truck, bus, etc. all have battery. So the function of the battery is to supply the energy. What kind of energy? It supply the electrical energy. It supply the electrical current to the different appliances. For the starting of the vehicle, we need energy, we need battery. For the lightening of the vehicle, we need energy, we need battery. And for the other electronic and electrical circuits of a vehicle, we need energy, that is battery. So in even in industrial applications, we need battery. For the computer, we need UPS. In UPS, what we have? We have batteries. So battery have different functions, different applications in the various subject areas. So first of all, what is battery? So battery is nothing, it is a cell, or it is a combination of different cells that converts chemical energy into electrical energy. My dear friends, we need electrical energy. For example, in a vehicle, as we have discussed, for the lightening of the vehicle, for the ignition of the vehicle, for the starting of the vehicle, we need electrical energy, we need current, we need charge. From where the vehicle will get this charge? The source is battery. So dear friend, battery is nothing, it is a cell, or it is a group of cell. A single cell can also be, we can say it is a battery, or a combination of different cells, we can say it is a battery. So the purpose of the battery is to convert chemical energy into electrical energy. What is chemical energy in it? The some acidic material, some alkaline material, some chemical reaction is taking place inside the battery, from which energy is generated, from which charge is generated, from which electricity is generated, and we use that electricity. Due to this reason, the purpose of the battery is to supply electrical energy. So this electrical energy in a battery is a reversible process. There are two processes, one is irreversible process, another is reversible process. So Sathiyo, what is a reversible process? Reversible process, that process which can happen in a reverse direction also along with the forward direction. Forward direction ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਾਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਜੇ reverse direction ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਹੋ ਜੇ, that is called reversible reaction, otherwise it is a reversible reaction. So in battery we have the reversible reaction. Reversible reaction means discharging of the battery taking place. Discharging means ਜਦੋਂ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਹੈ battery ਕੁछ time ਬਾਅਦ the strength of the battery decreases, we can say the battery is discharging, and after some time we can recharge it battery in a reverse direction. So charging and discharging of a battery taking place, this is called reversible chemical reaction. So how we can charge a battery? By passing through a current in the direction opposite to the discharging of the battery. Same direction में नहीं होंदी, it happens the charging of the battery taking place in the opposite direction to the discharging of the battery. As due to this reason, it is called storage cell or storage battery, because it store the energy. What kind of energy it taking place? It store the DC supply, direct current supply. It store the direct current energy, not AC supply, alternating current. So battery always supply DC voltage. Clear? Now coming to functions of the battery. So we know, we all know, there is nothing hiding in the in battery. What are the different functions of battery? So for the vehicle, in vehicle it supply current for starting of a vehicle. whether it is a two-wheeler or whether it is a four-wheeler or any other vehicle, it supplies current for starting of the vehicle. Moreover friends, for starting of the vehicle, it also start the ignition system of the vehicle, ignition system. So, ignition system not only includes the starting of the vehicle, it also includes locking and unlocking of the vehicle, opening and closing of the doors of the vehicle, opening or starting of the steering of the vehicle. It also include, it is also the part of the ignition system. So, another function of the battery is it gives lights. To start the lightning system of the vehicle, we need battery, or battery helps to start the lighting system of the vehicle. So, another function is to start various electrical and electronic circuits, components and accessories over a wide range of temperature. Wide range of temperature means when vehicle moves in a hilly area, in a mountain area, in a winter season where the temperature is very low, near to 1 degree centigrade or below 0 degree centigrade. In such a situation, the battery should be capable to supply the sufficient amount of electrical energy to the vehicle for starting of the vehicle, as for the ignition of the vehicle, for the lightening of the vehicle. And at the same time, in summer in desert area where the temperature crosses near to 50 or more than 50 degrees centigrade, in such a situation the battery should supply the sufficient amount of electrical energy for the starting of the vehicle. So, beside the vehicle, in industrial applications, we are using the battery for starting of the machine, for starting of the equipments. In our laboratories in engineering colleges, we use batteries, number of batteries. Even for the starting of the computer, we use UPS, uninterrupted power supply. So, in UPS, what is in UPS? It is battery, it is nothing else. It has battery. So, battery means it supply the electrical energy. So, these are the functions of the battery. Now, next slide show the different types of the battery. So, dear friends, मेरे साथियों, there are the different types of battery. Generally, types of batteries are two types. One is primary battery and other is secondary battery. So, primary battery directly converts chemical energy into electrical energy and same time within the cell to start the action. But secondary battery must first be charged. Secondary battery ਉਹ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਚਾਰਜ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਮੋਬਾਈਲ ਦੀ ਬੈਟਰੀ ਹੈ. Mobile will not operate unless until its battery is charged fully. So, this is mobile battery is secondary battery. Vehicle battery is a secondary battery. All batteries generally are secondary battery, which what we are using in our daily life applications. The secondary battery must first be charged. ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਚਾਰਜ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ with electrical energy before it can convert chemical energy into electrical energy. ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਚਾਰਜ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ? ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਬਿਜਲੀ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਇਹਨੂੰ ਸਪਲਾਈ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, then it start chemical reaction. So, from chemical reaction start within the battery, electrical energy is generated. So, this kind of battery is called secondary battery. So, the secondary battery is frequently called a storage battery. Generally, this is called storage battery. In automobiles, in machineries, in factories, in daily life, in mobiles or other appliances, we generally use secondary batteries. We generally use secondary battery. So, this is primary cell or primary battery. Primary cell or primary battery, it is a single cell. It is called dry cell also because it has chemical, but in the form of paste, not in the form of liquid. So, primary cell cannot be recharged. We generally say the name is given to cell, primary cell, that cell which cannot be recharged. Once it is used, after discharge we will throw it. फेंक देंगे हैं ना ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ. So, it cannot be recharged. So, why it cannot be recharged? Because the chemical process is not reversible, it is irreversible. The example is zinc carbon. So, this is alkaline battery. The example is dry cell. All cell which we see in torches, in different applications they have the different various applications of the primary cell. So, we can say it cannot be recharged, but secondary cell can be recharged. This is the example of the dry cell, primary cell. So, in dry cell it uses an electrolytic paste. The chemical which is here inside the dry cell, it is in paste form. The electrolytic paste react with the electrodes. This is electrode, this is one electrode, and this is the another electrode. So, between these two electrodes, the electrolytic paste is inserted. This electrolytic paste react with the electrodes to produce a negative charge on one electrode and a positive charge on the other electrode. So, due to this, naturally when positive charge are generated, negative charges are generated, one kind of charge is excess in number than the other. एक charge बढ़ जाता है ते दूसरा घट जाता है. This means there is a difference in the charge. This difference in the charge is called potential difference. This potential difference is called voltage. Voltage is nothing, it is a driving force behind the supply of the charge, behind the supply of the current. जेकर सैल दे विच नेगेटिव पॉजिटिव वैल्यू नहीं है, then we can say cell is dead. There is no driving force, there is no difference between the positive and negative. If the values are of positive and negative are same, then we can say the cell is dead. So, but naturally there is always difference between the positive and negative. So, due to this difference, this is called potential difference, this is called voltage, another name is called driving force. So, the driving force is nothing, it is a force with the help of which the electrons flow from one terminal to another terminal. When electron flow, we can say charge flow, when charge flow, we can say current flow. So, potential difference is the driving force. So, this is the example of the primary cell. Next is secondary cell. Secondary cell may be single cell or may be a combination of the number of cells. The main characteristic, the main property of the secondary cell is that it can be recharged, but primary cell cannot be recharged, but secondary cell can be recharged because chemical reaction in the secondary cell is reversible. चार्ज भी हो जाता है, डिस्चार्ज भी हो जाता है. नैचुरली जो डिस्चार्ज हो गया फिर ही चार्ज करने की जरूरत पेगी ना आपां नूं. सो केमिकल रिएक्शन इज रिवर्सिबल. द एग्जांपल इज you have seen the all battery, lead acid battery, nickel cadmium battery, nickel metal hydride battery and lithium ion battery. So ब्रैकेट ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ क्या लिखा है? The strength of the battery. This battery is 2 volt, this is 1.2 volt, this is also 1.2 volt and this is lithium ion battery is 3.3 volt. So this is the example of the secondary cell. So my dear friends, lead acid battery is nothing, it is a combination of the different cell. Any battery, it may be single cell or it may be of number of cells, combination of the number of cells. When we combine different cells together, it forms a battery. What the lead acid battery have, ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕੀ ਹੈ, and lead acid battery have an active electrolyte. Electrolyte means some chemical solution, that is called electrolyte. So electrolyte for the most part is in electrolyte. What is electrolyte? It has two parts. One part is water, which is the most part, ज़्यादा part पानी ਹੁੰਦਾ है, and some part is the sulfuric acid, H2SO4. H2SO4 is the sulfuric acid. So both form electrolyte. So electrodes are dipped in this electrolyte and chemical reaction taking place over there, but the condition is that electrolyte should be of different materials. इस तरह नहीं है कि दो electrodes ने वो same material दे हो सकते हैं. No, the electrode will be of different material. Electrode must be of dissimilar metals. So figure shows the lead acid battery. In a battery, the cells are joined together. Cells are joined together. So my dear friends, if we want to understand the functioning and working of a battery, we must understand the function of a cell. So first of all, we will understand the function of a cell. This is the basic battery cell. The metals in a cell are called the electrode. Dear friend, these are the two electrode. One is positive electrode and other is negative electrode. For example, this black electrode is negative electrode and this light electrode is a positive electrode. So these two electrodes are immersed, dabo ditte jande ne kis de vich, in the electrolyte. So in a beaker we fill the beaker with the by electrolyte. Electrolyte is nothing, it is a chemical solution. For example, H2SO4, sulfuric acid. So both electrodes are dipped into the electrolyte and it form a battery cell. Because the chemical reaction starts over there, the flow of the current starts from positive to negative or negative to positive, whatever it is. As a result, whatever the load applied in between, जैसे हमने देखा ना जहाँ पे बल्ब लगा दिया हमने बीच में, so whatever load is applied in between, that will glow, that will start functioning. So this is the basic model of a battery cell. The electrodes are dipped in the electrolyte over here. The electrolyte reacts oppositely with the two different electrodes. Electrolyte इस positive के साथ कोई और action करेगा, negative के साथ कोई और action करेगा. So it causes one electrode to lose the electron. एक electrode lose करेगा electron भाई, इसको कहते हैं positive charge, इसके ऊपर आ जाएगा, और दूसरा गेन करेगा इलेक्ट्रॉन्स, इसको कहेंगे हम इलेक्ट्रॉन्स, नेगेटिव चार्ज आ गया इसके ऊपर, मतलब जो लूज करेगा उस पर इलेक्ट्रॉन्स कम होते जाएंगे, जो गेन करेगा उस पर इलेक्ट्रॉन्स ज़्यादा होते जाएंगे, जो लूज करेगा उसके ऊपर पॉजिटिव चार्ज आ जाएगा, जो गेन करेगा उसके ऊपर नेगेटिव चार्ज आ जाएगा. सो देयर इज अ डिफरेंस इन द इलेक्ट्रॉन, एक के ऊपर बहुत ज़्यादा इलेक्ट्रॉन इकट्ठे हो गए, एक के ऊपर कम होते जा रहे हैं. सो द डिफरेंस ऑफ द इलेक्ट्रॉन इज टेकिंग प्लेस. दिस डिफरेंस इज कॉल्ड पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस. अगेन आई एम सेइंग यू, अगेन आई एम टेलिंग यू, दिस डिफरेंस इज कॉल्ड potential difference. This potential difference is called voltage and this voltage is called driving force, and with the help of this driving force the charge flow, the current flows. This is called cell voltage. So this is the main structure of a cell of a battery. Therefore so you see this is negative electrode, this is positive electrode, both are connected with each other. What happens, these two electrodes are dipped in some chemical solution which is called electrolyte. As a result, when these are dipped into the electrolyte, some chemical reaction taking place. Due to this chemical reaction, the flow of the charge taking place, the flow of the current taking place. As a result, the battery, as a result the bulb will glow, the external load will glow. So dear friend, what are the different components of a battery? One is positive electrode, another is negative electrode, another is electrolyte, means chemical solution, another is separator which separates the positive and negative electrodes. So the positive electrode, the material of the positive electrode will be different from the negative electrode and it is called cathode, while the negative electrode, the material of the negative electrode is different from the positive electrode and it is called anode. Now next is electrolyte. Electrolyte means chemical solution. When charging first time, electrolysis process taking place. Electrolysis means flow of the electrons. Flow of the electron when starts in some chemical solution, this is called electrolysis process. Due to this electrolysis, it breaks the water molecule H2O into hydrogen ions and oxygen ions, as you see in this picture. The positive hydrogen ions attracted negative sulfate ions. Sulfate ions कहाँ से आ गए? Sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid भी break up हो जाएगा दो. One is hydrogen ions and another is sulfate ions. So hydrogen positive ions are attracted towards the negative sulfate ions from each electrode. these combination produce H2SO4 ਜਦੋਂ ਹਾਈਡਰੋਜਨ ਆਇਨ ਤੇ ਸਲਫੇਟ ਆਇਨ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਫਿਰ ਕੀ ਬਣਾਉਂਦਾ ਹੈ H2SO4 which is called sulfuric acid. So this is electrolyte, and this figure show the electrolysis process. The electrolysis process is nothing, it is the producing of chemical changes by passing of an electric current through an electrolyte. Electrolyte ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਦੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਕਰੰਟ ਪਾਸ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ ਕੋਈ ਕੈਮੀਕਲ ਚੇਂਜਸ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਉਸ ਸਾਰੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਸੈਸ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ electrolysis. This process is called electrolysis process. So dear friends, so battery is a combination of the different number of cells, combination of the number of cells. As you seen in this photograph, this is negative plate and this is positive plate. This is positive plate and this is negative plate. This is another cell. This is another cell. In this picture, the battery has 3 cells. This is first cell, this is second cell, this is third cell. The positive plates are connected together and negative plates are connected together. The positive plates terminal is called cathode and is depicted with red color here, and the negative plates are connected together and form a one terminal. It is called anode. It is negative charge and it is depicted here as a black color. This is black, and these positive and negative plates are dipped together inside sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is a electrolyte. H2SO4 is a electrolyte. So next is types of storage battery. Generally the battery is lead acid battery, but type batteries are also called alkaline battery and zinc air battery. So the main parts of the battery are container in which the cells are contained, in cells are jointed together, and plates. Plates means electrodes, positive plate and negative plate. These two plates are separated from each other to avoid the short circuiting with the help of called separators. This is number 3 is separator, and number 4 is cell cover which cover the entire cell, and fifth is electrolyte. Electrolyte means chemical solution in which the plates are dipped, immersed. So we will discuss all these components one by one. First is container, second is plate, third is separator, fourth is cell cover and fifth is electrolyte. First is container. Container ਆ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਨਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਥੀਓ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਕੰਟੇਨਰ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ ਬੈਟਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ. ਸੋ ਐਜ਼ ਸ਼ੋਨ ਇਨ ਦਾ ਫਿਗਰ ਇਟ ਹੈਜ਼ 4 ਸੈੱਲ, first cell, second cell, third cell, fourth cell. So container means battery has a container to cover the, to contain the cell. We need container. It is made up from the hard rubber. ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਜ਼ਮਾਨੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੋਟੀ ਰਬੜ ਤੋਂ ਬਣਾਈਆਂ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਸੀ ਬੈਟਰੀਆਂ, लेकिन अजकल नए मटीरियल तो बनाई जाती हैं. दैट इज़ कॉल्ड polypropylene. This is very strong material, this is very transparent material and it is very light in weight. And with strong material भी है देखो तो light in weight भी है. So polypropylene क्या है, एक composite material है. So there are partition inside these container. Partition ਬਣੀਆਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਕਿਉਂ ਬਣੀਆਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ? For the to accommodate the different cell. ਇੱਕ ਸੈੱਲ ਇੱਥੇ ਫਿੱਟ ਕਰਤਾ, ਇੱਕ ਸੈੱਲ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਇੱਕ ਸੈੱਲ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਇੱਕ ਸੈੱਲ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ. Number 2 are plates. There are 2 types of battery plates. One is positive plate and other is negative plate. For each plate there is a supporting framework which is called grid. देखो प्लेट खड़ेगी किस तरह, खड़ाਉਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਸੈੱਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ. प्लेट मतलब इलेक्ट्रोड, प्लेट मतलब इलेक्ट्रोड. वन इज़ पॉजिटिव इलेक्ट्रोड एंड अदर इज़ नैगेटिव इलेक्ट्रोड. ये फिट किस तरह होणगे सैल दे कंटेनर दे विच? These are fitted with the help of the grid. Some support is required and that is called grid. किस तरह किस चीज़ तो बनया हुंदा है? It is a alloy of lead and antimony. It is a alloy of lead and antimony. कौन बनाया? Grid. The function of the grid is to hold the active material. Function की ने grid दे? Hold the active material and to carry the current in the plate. Current ਨੂੰ plate ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਿਜਾਣ ਦੇ ਲਈ, ਇੱਕ ਥਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਦੂਸਰੀ ਥਾਂ ਤੇ ਲਿਜਾਣ ਦੇ ਲਈ grid is used. Grid is used. So this is plate grid. You can see the battery, this is positive plate group, this is negative plate group, and this positive and negative plates are separated from each other to avoid the short circuiting with the help of the separator. Plate एक सीधी है लेकिन इसनू support कौन कर रहा है? देखो grid. These lines, horizontal and vertical lines, even sometimes diagonal lines are there. This forms a grid. Mesh. Grid is nothing, it is a mesh. Jali. So the active material in the positive plate grid is Pb3O4, and in the negative plate grid it is plumbous oxide. Plumbous oxide means lead oxide in the form of paste. After the forming process, they are converted into lead peroxide for the positive plate and spongy lead, single lead, PV single lead for the negative plate. मैं अगे तुहानू रिएक्शन दिखावांगा, ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ क्लीयर हो जाएगा कि किस तरह बन रहा. So positive plate is colored red and is usually large in diameter than the negative plate. So this is the arrangement of a battery. Now you see this is a positive cell, positive plates. This is negative plate, positive plate, negative plate, and so on. A battery is formed. Positive and negative plates are separated from each other with the help of separators. So third part is separators. To avoid direct contact and thus short circuiting of positive and negative plates, thin sheet of some non-conducting materials are put between them. ਦੋਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿਚਾਲੇ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਸ਼ਾਰਟ ਸਰਕਟਿੰਗ ਨਾ ਹੋ ਜੇ, ਡਾਇਰੈਕਟ ਕੰਟੈਕਟ ਨਾ ਬਣ ਜਾਏ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿਚਕਾਰ, ਇੱਕ ਨਾਨ ਕੰਡਕਟਿੰਗ ਮਟੀਰੀਅਲ ਦੀ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਦੀ ਕਰੰਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਾਸ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ ਉਸ ਦੀ ਇੱਕ ਪਲੇਟ ਲਗਾ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਐਂਡ ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਕਾਲਡ ਸੈਪਰੇਟਰ. These are made from treated wood, fiber glass, porous rubber and sintered PVC, polyvinyl chloride. Cell cover, cell मतलब cover किस तरह करते हैं आप. Cell cover provide a sealing for the cell, ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ. They are molded from hard rubber ਦੇ ਬਣਾਏ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ. ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਥੋੜੇ ਛੋਟੇ ਹੋਲ ਲਾਏ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿਸ ਕਾਰਨ? ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਜੋ ਗੈਸਸ ਅੰਦਰ ਬਣਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਡਿਊ ਟੂ ਦਾ ਕੈਮੀਕਲ ਰਿਐਕਸ਼ਨ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਬਾਹਰ ਨਿਕਲ ਜਾਣ, ਐਂਡ these are called vents. The vents allow the gases produced during battery charging to escape. ਜਦੋਂ ਚਾਰਜਿੰਗ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਬੈਟਰੀ ਤਾਂ ਗੈਸਸ ਇਵੋਲਵ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਗੈਸਸ ਜੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਆ ਜਾਣ then it becomes dangerous. That gases should be come out. How they will come out and through which they will come out? They will come out through a small holes which are molded in a cell cover. These small holes are called vents. Fifth is electrolyte. Electrolyte means chemical solution. The electrolyte used in the lead acid battery is the solution of the sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid किस तरह है? electrolyte ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਹੈ? ਪਾਣੀ ਵੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ sulfuric acid ਵੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ. ਆਪਾਂ ਨੇ it is very much important electrolyte बनाना किस तरह. Acid should be added very slowly into the water. ਪਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਐਸਿਡ ਪਾਣਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਕਿ ਪਾਣੀ ਨੂੰ ਐਸਿਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾਣਾ ਹੈ. So acid should be added very slowly to the distilled water. The water should never be added to the acid, which would result in a violent chemical reaction. ਅੱਗ ਲੱਗ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ. ਸੋ ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਦਾ ਵਰਕਿੰਗ ਆਫ ਦਾ ਬੈਟਰੀ. ਦੇਖੋ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਰਿਐਕਸ਼ਨ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ. ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਦੋਂ ਚਾਰਜਿੰਗ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਬੈਟਰੀ ਸਾਡੀ, ਜਦੋਂ ਚਾਰਜ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਅਸੀਂ ਵਰਤ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਬੈਟਰੀ ਨੂੰ, ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਡਿਸਚਾਰਜ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ. ਇੱਧਰ ਨੂੰ ਡਿਸਚਾਰਜ ਸ਼ੋ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਔਨ ਦਿਸ ਡਾਇਰੈਕਸ਼ਨ. ਲੈਫਟ ਟੂ ਰਾਈਟ ਇਜ਼ ਦਾ ਡਿਸਚਾਰਜਿੰਗ. ਇਹ ਪਲੇਟ ਹੈ ਪੋਜ਼ਿਟਿਵ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ, ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੈ ਨੈਗੇਟਿਵ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ. ਨੈਗੇਟਿਵ ਪਲੇਟ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਕੱਲਾ ਹੈ ਲੈਡ, ਐਂਡ ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਲੈਡ ਆਕਸਾਈਡ, ਐਂਡ ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਇਲੈਕਟ੍ਰੋਲਾਈਟ. ਦੋਨੋਂ ਪਲੇਟਾਂ ਡੁੱਬੀਆਂ ਹੋਈਆਂ ਇਲੈਕਟ੍ਰੋਲਾਈਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਦੋਂ ਚਾਰਜ ਹੋਈਆਂ. ਫਿਰ ਕੀ ਬਣ ਜਾਏਗਾ? ਜਦੋਂ ਡਿਸਚਾਰਜ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਪੋਜ਼ਿਟਿਵ ਪਲੇਟ ਤੇ ਲੈਡ ਸਲਫੇਟ ਬਣਨਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ, ਪਾਣੀ ਬਣਨਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ. ਨੈਗੇਟਿਵ ਪਲੇਟ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਲੈਡ ਸਲਫੇਟ ਬਣਨਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ. ਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਕਰੰਟ ਦੇ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਹੁਣ ਇੱਧਰ ਨੂੰ ਡਿਸਚਾਰਜ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਬੈਟਰੀ, ਚਾਰਜ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ, ਰੀਚਾਰਜ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ, ਅਸੀਂ ਕਰੰਟ ਦੇ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਇਲੈਕਟ੍ਰੋਨਸ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ. ਅਗੇਨ lead sulfate will broke up into lead and lead oxide and sulfuric acid form. ਇੱਧਰੋਂ ਰਿਐਕਸ਼ਨ ਇੱਧਰ ਨੂੰ ਚੱਲਦਾ ਹੈ from right to left. As a result battery is recharged. So on discharging both, lead oxide and lead are converted to lead sulfate, water is produced which dilutes the electrolyte solution. During recharging, lead sulfate on positive plate is converted into lead peroxide, water is split up into oxygen and hydrogen gases during the charging process. So this is the battery discharge cycle. Discharge किस तरह होती है? So sulfate react with the lead and form the lead sulfate while water is formed with the help by combination of hydrogen and oxygen. And this is the charge cycle. How the battery is recharged? The lead is react with